Frank Schwalbe-Roth. I'm from Germany, and I'm one of the founders of the German Green Party, the first Green MP and the first Green member of the European Parliament. When I had less white hair, I had the honor to meet your mother already. Now it's grey, and I meet you. And Kashmir plays a certain role in my life, because by accident, Kashmiris contacted me when they opened the Kashmir office in Brussels. I come to my question, in a moment. It will be on India. And they said, Frank, you have such an experience and you're so nice. Please help us in Brussels. And for 8 years, I was special advisor to the Kashmir Center here in Brussels. We succeeded the question of mass graves, identification of dead people. We sent a delegation of members of parliament to Srinagar and to Muzaffarabad, resulting in a report from the most beautiful prison in the world.
Was this the delegation that the Indians didn't allow to enter?
No, they allowed. And we succeeded in Geneva, when there was the human rights review process, to have 182, I think it was, recommendations about China, what India should do better. This every 4-year report. And in this case, at that moment, I met Musharraf in your country. And I provoked him. I said, come on, no one understands you here in Brussels. Because even the king of Samoa was here, but never a president of Pakistan. He looked around and said, oh, yes, oh, apologies, it's true. And half a year later, he came. And we succeeded that in the European Parliament, nearly no one speaks of India as the largest democracy in the world. But we laid the ground that it is said, India, the largest structural democracy, where the reality might be different. My question, after Trump, the EU looks all around the world for new friends, for new treaties with other parts of the world. One of the consequences is that we are flirting much more intensive with India. Therefore, my question, what do you think this means for Pakistan and for Kashmir, that the European Union, you say, you are wonderful, you're the last hope in a lot of fields. What does it mean for the conflict and for you? And then to make it difficult for you, because a lot of people here in Europe thought Polisario, you know, the conflict, the territory south of Morocco, where the European Union was always saying, it's not Morocco territory. And Spain, now France, have recognized the authority of Morocco over the Polisario territory. That means it is possible, if geopolitical reasons might force the EU to be more flirting with India, to change their attitude as well. And a last compliment to your staff and your embassy. I was here when the Iraqi foreign affairs minister was here. He came with 3 journalists, I came with 2 assistants, and that was all. And this is a Saturday, and nevertheless, the room is full, therefore congratulations for your staff here in Brussels. But the question, now apologies for my long intervention, is what does it mean, the flirting European Union for India?
Thank you. I'd first like to say, thank you for your question. Pakistan is confident in our relationship with the European Union, and we're absolutely not jealous for your flirting that is ongoing with India and others. Is absolutely right. In fact, we're counting on this engagement. We're counting on yours and other Western countries' close ties to India to be able to speak to them as a friend and explain to them that the corner in which they're painting not only their own country, but their entire region is not a tenable situation. It does not leave the citizens of India any more safe, it does not leave certainly the citizens of Pakistan any more safe, or the people of the international community. It's all the more important that the European Union and other countries engage, speak to India as a friend and convince them that this is the only path forward. As far as the engagement that you've had with India, the economic engagement that you're looking to have in the region, there's, for example, even we just came from the UK. They've signed a trade deal with The Indian government, Pakistan has, like we have GSP Plus with Europe. There's also an arrangement that we have for trade with the United Kingdom. The US is currently in trade talks both with India and Pakistan. So if we just look at it from the economic angle and your economic interests in an increasingly unpredictable economic climate, no matter how fantastic these trade deals will be, no matter how big and beautiful they may end up being bilaterally between the EU and India, the US and India, the UK and India, they'll only manage to achieve their full potential under two circumstances. One, if we have peace between India and Pakistan, so that we can restore trade between India and Pakistan that doesn't exist today, and we can restore transit trade, which was suspended as a result of this conflict. Otherwise, as fantastic as your economic negotiations may be with them, you may have come up with a great, fantastic economic opportunity for yourselves in India. It won't reach its true potential if we're not trading with one another. Secondly, if we don't have peace, and the threshold for conflict is so very low that at the drop of the hat we go to war, a war that can turn into a nuclear war. I put it to you, that what does it mean for the potential investments in India? What does it mean for the confidence of European and Western countries that are looking to invest in this part of the world and vice versa? So for your own self-interests, for your own economic interests, it makes sense for India and Pakistan to achieve peace. Next question.
Thank you. For the next question, Alberto, please.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. My name is Alberto Turkstra, Project Director of Diplomatic World. Thank you very much for this comprehensive briefing. Two short questions. First, you've been in Brussels for a few days engaging with high-level counterparts. What role do you envisage the European Union to play to mediate for lasting and sustainable peace in the region? You mentioned their role in achieving the ceasefire, but looking ahead, what role do you expect or do you envisage the EU can play? And the second, when you mentioned the need for a comprehensive dialogue with India, does your preference go for a bilateral dialogue or with third-party mediation? Thank you very much.
Thank you. As far as our engagements here in Brussels, they've all been very positive. I'm very happy to report that no matter where we've been, the Pakistan's, whether it's the United States, whether it's the United Kingdom, and whether it's here in Europe, when Pakistan says we seek dialogue and diplomacy in the pursuit of peace, no one disagrees. When Pakistan says that we want a comprehensive dialogue to resolve all our issues, everybody's pretty keen on that. And when Pakistan says that we don't want the weaponization of water to be a new precedent, everybody agrees as well. How will you assist us in achieving those aims? I think everybody can play their role diplomatically, engage diplomatically with both sides to try and encourage that conversation. As far as the dialogue between India and Pakistan, mediation was offered during this conflict. It's certainly something that we'd be willing to discuss on who would be able to best mediate, etc. If mediation is necessary. What was at least what I want to emphasize is, as part of the ceasefire, our military assesses that we were at a point in the conflict where Pakistan had the military upper hand. And it was in that climate that we agreed to the ceasefire, and with the understanding that there would be a conversation, to quote the Secretary of State's statement, on all friction points at a neutral location. So we believe it's incredibly important for us to achieve that aim. We understand that the Indian government's reaction has been less than positive about these developments. So we saw how quickly they moved away from using the term ceasefire, starting to use the term pause, how they've continued in escalatory and warmongering rhetoric. Their defense minister says that this was a trailer, the movie is yet to come. Their prime minister said that he has a special message to the youth of Pakistan, that eat bread or eat my bullet. Their foreign minister was here in Brussels, where they called my entire country Terroristan, which means they do not distinguish between a terrorist and a civilian. In that climate, and I believe that Europe knows all too well, with the demonization of entire populations, the dehumanizations of entire communities, the escalatory rhetoric has meant in the past, and what is meant for you in the present. In that context, dialogue is important. Mediation, I think, would be the most productive, but bilaterally through a comprehensive dialogue that's not focused on any one, but all issues, we will certainly make more progress than we will by firing missiles and shooting each other's planes.
Thank you, sir. Birds up. After him.
Trilateral or bilateral?
He never said trilateral or bilateral. In fact, he asked for mediation or bilateral dialogue, and I've answered that. Thank you.
Can you let me? Sir, welcome to Brussels. I'm Mohammed Nasser, a Brussels City Police Advisor.
Okay.
We have some special police officers who they keep eyes on. Their job is just to keep eye on South Asia.
Sure.
And of course, especially right now on conflict between India and Pakistan. Well, we discussed with each other, and my officer's friend, they said, your army is doing well, but this person, Mr. Bilawal, is doing even better at the diplomatic front. He is the right person at the right time to convey the message of Pakistan to the rest of the world. Therefore, I ask my colleagues, friends, please clapping for
That's very kind of you, but सवाल क्या है? Question.
The question is, the day before yesterday,
I can hear you. It's all right.
did you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But what's the question?
Yeah, okay. So, day before yesterday, our defense minister, Khwaja Asif, was telling to Haman Mir that if ever Israel attack on Iran, we will stand with Iran. And yesterday, Israel attacked on Iran. So, where we are standing?
Okay, thank you. It's very kind of you for your nice, lovely words. I believe that the leadership in Pakistan, that of the Prime Minister, the President, and the armed forces, have conducted themselves outstandingly throughout this process. As far as this mission that the Prime Minister sent us on, as you can see, I have the most capable team in the history of Pakistani diplomacy. I don't think ever this many foreign ministers and foreign secretaries have gathered at the same place. And ultimately, the case that we are advocating for is one of truth, is one of justice, is one of peace. So it has been particularly encouraging, the reception we've had to that message. Your question about Israel strikes on Iran, absolutely. Look, Pakistan's border is with, on the one side with Afghanistan. We suffered Afghan 1 blowback. Now we're suffering Afghan 2 blowback that at the moment is confined for us, but heaven forbid that it affects other countries. The other border where we almost engaged in a full-blown conflict that could have led to a nuclear war is India. Then the other country is Iran. We certainly don't want war on this border. Pakistan has condemned the strikes that took place over the last couple of days at our neighboring country. And we will continue to advocate for peace on all our borders, be it with Afghanistan, be it with Iran, be it with India. We absolutely cannot afford this conflict to turn into Iraq 2.0 or World War III. And it has become far too easy for this to be having a war every month. What is wrong with this generation? You were supposed to protect us from the scourge of war through dialogue and diplomacy, and it has become the default setting. Whenever there is a conflict, whenever there is a dispute, to launch into full-scale war. And it is far easier for older generations to make these decisions, to start these conflicts. But it's my generation that's going to have to pick up the pieces. I absolutely call on the international community to play their role to immediately impose a ceasefire in this Iranian conflict with the occupying forces in Palestine. We cannot have perpetual war. It serves none of our interests. Finally, you're working in the police over here. I want to speak to you in that context. That Pakistan and Europe, Pakistan and the UK, Pakistan and the United States, we have cooperation on counterterrorism. We have coordination on counterterrorism. We have intelligence sharing to deal with counterterrorism, and we've done this from before also, but particularly 2001 onwards. That relationship, that CT cooperation has become so effective that on both sides we've managed to work together to thwart terrorist attacks. Terrorism knows no borders, it knows no race, it knows no religion. It is a menace for all of us. But we've managed to cooperate and, based on intelligence sharing, thwart terrorist attacks in the United States, thwart terrorist attacks in Europe, and thwart terrorist attacks in Pakistan. Would you believe there's no coordination, no cooperation between India and Pakistan on combating terrorism? 2012 was the last time we had a comprehensive dialogue in which there was some cooperation on CT. 2019, there was a last attack which led to planes in the sky. Between that date and this date, we've had no conversation. I ask you as an expert, someone who deals with terrorism, is this a viable situation? Or will we be able to more effectively combat terror if India and Pakistan sat together and coordinated, conducted intelligence sharing? We would be able to develop, just as the United States generals said before their Houses of Parliament or their Congress 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, that we have a phenomenal partnership with Pakistan on counterterrorism. We can develop that phenomenal partnership with India as well.